Hey guys, welcome to Daniel and Gian Talk, and today I'll be reviewing the film Gandu, directed by, I gotta read this one, Qaushiq Mukherjee, also known as Q. I probably mispronounced that, so apologies all around. This review is going to be short and sweet, just like the movie. Short and sweet. There will be no porn, no sex, no masturbation, no blowjobs, no crazy psycho acid trips, no weed. Well, maybe weed. First and foremost, this is an art film. So if you're a regular viewer, you definitely have heard Gian and I talk about films that directors make just for the pure intention of like sniffing their own farts, just so they could just they're just fart sniffers. They're so pretentious and all that good stuff. This is an example of that. Now, I don't know how Gian would personally take the movie, but I actually fucking dug it. Not gonna lie, towards the end, the sex scenes were a little much, but I kind of got what they were going for. They were willing, Q was willing to just do whatever the character needed to be done. Because at the end of the day, this is a character study, it's a character based film. There's no plot, there's no development. You know, things that Gian and I would constantly complain about, ironically enough, I enjoy for this movie. But more so because it's such a refresher. It's such a good palate cleanser from what I'm used to, and not just Indian films, but just movies in general. It's a punk rock movie through and through. That's not the genre. It's an art house film, like I said, but it's punk rock. It's rap. It's all of those things. It's this fuck you attitude towards cinema, towards everything. It's negative, but also oddly enough human. Everything in the movie's human, and that's what I enjoyed about it. I enjoyed the interactions. I enjoyed the acting. I enjoyed just the weird cutting. The film's weird ability to create a lot of energy, a lot of anger out of nothing. You know, when their main character's like yelling in the screen and he's rapping and doing his punk rock bit, I'm with him. Like end up reading the words on the screen. You know, these little plot devices, which aren't really plot devices, but these little filming visual language techniques add to this experimental nature of the movie, and I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I'd be curious to check out his other films. I know he's done 2 movies for Netflix, which is pretty interesting. Personally, I highly recommend it, but I do, and normally I wouldn't do this, but I do have to really emphasize that towards the end of the film, it is very adult, to the point where if you're watching this with someone else who might feel uncomfortable, you might not want to do that. You know, definitely probably wouldn't want to watch this with your parents. Maybe by yourself. Boys or girls, you know, I'm just saying I think there's something here for everyone to enjoy. But it reminds me of Shame, a Michael Fassbender film directed by Steve McQueen. One of my personal one of my personal favorite films ever, period. That film's about sexual addiction. This one's not, but I'm just saying in terms of films that are willing to go there and to be a little bit more extreme, a little bit more graphic. It reminds me of Nine Songs. Nine Songs, there's way more sex in it, and it's basically a porn where they interact at like a concert in between. This one's more situational based, and then you kind of get into these sexual escapades towards the end. But they are motivated by kind of what's going on in his mental space, and that's kind of what this is about. It's a film where he's stuck in his mental headspace. Nothing really bad to say, because if I were to treat this movie like the other movies, it's kind of not fair, because the intent of this film is to be this way. 100%. You know, it's like watching a mainstream Hindi cinema film. And when Gian and I gripe about the songs and stuff, yeah, we might not like it, but that's something you kind of have to accept as a part of the experience. I feel like now things are starting to change, where films are starting to maybe just do a song but throw it on the credits, or maybe just do it for social media. But having a song accompanying your film, I've came to accept as a part of the experience. And, certain times it can be disappointing, but sometimes it's disappointing when they're in there. It's just like this. You watch an art film, and sometimes there's an energy, there's a vibe, there's something else beyond the story that just attracts you to it. There's things that you can pull from that me as a director would definitely want to integrate with my other future products. It doesn't always have to be perfect. I'm just saying, you grade films based on kind of what they are, and this film doesn't pretend to be anything else but an art film. I enjoyed the cinematography a lot, actually. The black and white cinematography but also just the shot selection, the way the camera moved, the way the director used the camera. Very thought-provoking. It always kept me engaged. I was always interested, and that's really important, especially when you don't have a lot going on. And I'm not even talking about the Indian Bruce Lee guy, who was hilarious, but also random as fuck, and I still don't really know what his place was. I mean, at first, it looks like he's gonna fight with our main character, then all of a sudden they're like smoking and going and hanging out and shit. So these weird things that just happen throughout the movie where you kind of just accept them, and it's not for everybody. Not everyone's gonna enjoy it, but if you do want to try something different, if you are in this rut of watching the same thing over and over and over again, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Just be prepared for the end to get a little intense. And I mean a lot of intense. And I mean, like, how Gian and I always talk about sucking dick? Well, this movie has a lot of dick sucking going on. I mean, actual dick in mouth sucking dick. So, for all you boys out there, if you're going to watch it, watch the whole thing. Just don't watch the last 5 minutes. I mean, I wouldn't want you to watch the last 5 minutes. But anyway, guys, that'll do it. Catch you on the next one. Don't forget, Jab We Met is the review for the week for Gian and myself. And stay tuned for the community page because I'll be posting my personal 2 solo reviews for the upcoming week as well. In the next 4 weeks, I'm just going to tell you, we're going to be doing Jab We Met. We're going to be doing Dev D. We're going to be doing Badlapur. And we are going to be doing Peeply Live. Now, we're also going to be doing more movies in the future. I just want to let you know those are the films that Gian and I will be doing together for the next 4 weeks in a row. That's not necessarily the order. Jab We Met will be first, but the other ones, we'll see what happens. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you've ever seen this, if you watched it. Again, let me know. Emperor Gandu signing out.